Hello, everyone. I'm Tracy Grant, the chief correspondent for Ovis, the only news platform that combines the best of cryptocurrency with social media and rewards people for telling the truth. You're listening to the Ovis It podcast. Today, we're going to talk to the Ovis founder and CEO, Linton Johnson, and our honored guest, CEO and co-founder of Warbly, Dominic Thomas. The current state of corporate news, the impact of choosing profits over truth, and how Ovis is building a platform to empower people to solve the problem.
This is what happens when ratings and clicks drive the news and not the truth.
At one point, he made up to $800,000 a day from ads.
It goes to motive. Alex Jones exploited the heinous tragedy of Sandy Hook for his own personal gain, that it was attracting a lot of viewers to his content. And he capitalized on that.
Ovis is radically changing the business model by incentivizing the truth. Now, today we're going to tackle this subject about Alex Jones and InfoWars and the entire format of conspiracy theories for profit. Now, Linton, as the founder of Ovis, I'm sure you were watching this entire situation with Alex Jones, just every detail, the way that this has been playing out.
You know, the thing that bothers me is how anybody can have the conscience to spew out fake news for ratings. I mean, this guy made nearly $800,000 a day, according to the court documents, by saying things that were not true, and just continue to do that. And the impact that that has on people, everyday real people, those people that were hurt by that Sandy Hook shooting, devastated, their lives changed forever. And one guy decided, you know what, I'm going to use this system of ratings and clicks and spew whatever just to get an audience so that way I can make money. It's making money off of other people's tragedy. And that's just the lowest of low, if you ask me. And so, the weird thing is, it's not even about Alex Jones. It's about the system that's in place. The system is designed to create a world of Alex Joneses out there. It's ratings and clicks. That's ratings and clicks that drive misinformation. So people say that, we need to get rid of fake news. Well, we need to get rid of the system that creates fake news. The heart of the cancer is ratings and clicks, not really Alex Jones. So that's what we're doing here at Ovis, is trying to change all that.
Right. Well, a lot of people look at this situation with Alex Jones and they say, okay, well, that's just that one guy. But it's not.
No, I mean, how do we think we got all these news agencies that were once providing objective journalism and now have just gone down the path of, let's just appeal to the people that are going to watch us and drive them with ratings and clicks. All we need is bigger ratings. What are we going to do to get bigger ratings? We're going to be more outrageous, tell bigger lies. The ethics went out the window because it's all about ratings and clicks.
Mm-hmm. And that's what's wrong with the current paradigm?
Absolutely. And we've got to completely change that. We've got to change the incentive structure. How about if you could just make money off of telling the truth? People will follow where the money goes. Yeah, I mean, people are going to follow the money, right? So if the only way to make money is to tell the truth, then they'll tell the truth. If the only way to make money is to tell lies, they're going to do that. So what we're trying to do is create a completely new paradigm, blow out the old business model, and focus on what's important, and that's the truth.
Okay. And in telling the truth, how will that benefit shareholders and people who are involved? I mean, the way it works now with the networks is that you have shareholders and you have corporate elites and everything. With Ovis, who really benefits from the way things will be done?
Well, we do. All of us within the Ovis community benefit. Right now, there are 6 major corporations that control nearly everything that we see and hear. That's ridiculous. Basically, a few people control the masses. The masses need to be in control. We need to shift the balance from those 6 corporations to we the people. And so what we're trying to do is decentralize the control of information and give it back to the people, and then allow the people to profit off of the truth in more ways than just money, but just in our democracy, restoring our democracy, having better conversations, productive conversations, instead of yelling at everybody, which creates ratings and clicks, but it doesn't get us to the truth. And that's what we need to do, is completely blow up the current system and do something radically better. And that's join as a community, which we call Ovis.
Now, you and I have seen this in our careers in journalism. Right now, the structure is viewership at all costs. And as a result, we both have experienced what it's like to do stories that didn't really seem like legitimate stories, or to take subject matter and turn it into something much bigger than it was, or give it more attention than it deserved. Correct?
Yeah, I mean, when we went to Northwestern, I graduated from Northwestern Medill School of Journalism, full of ideals. It's about telling the truth. It's about holding the powerful accountable, and giving voice to the voiceless. That's what we were taught. Then you go out in the corporate world, and what happens is just about ratings and clicks. It's about making that story as sensational as possible, so that way they can get ratings and clicks. It didn't matter if the truth was compromised for it. It was about making money for the shareholders, while the rest of us suffered, about divide and conquer, about not having those critical conversations where, everything's just black and white, right? There's no middle gray area. No one wanted to touch that. But the middle gray area is where we come to compromise, is how we solve problems, it's how we listen to each other and understand that just because you think one thing doesn't mean that the whole rest of the world has to think it. There's many different ideas out there, and together, when we come together and talk about it, we can come really to the truth. We can really evolve as a society. And I think the news has been part of that problem. It's been part of dividing us, and has created part of the reason why we're in the state of the world that we are today. And I think, Dominic, who's also our guest here, has seen that. He's not a journalist, but I'd kind of like to see how you think the news has created this problem in society.
Yeah, well, to your comment, I mean, you're going to get the output that the incentive model, incentivizes. If it's, attention at all costs, well, people are going to optimize for it. We know that in all systems. And if we, the old system was based on reputation, right? Is really my understanding. Those were the people that profited. The news networks were about their reputation. How good was the news? What kind of quality? How objective? Did they have solid sourcing? There was a set of sort of written and unwritten criteria, and that was the incentive model. News shows got eyeballs based on their reputations, right? But the biggest problem I see with this is that we lack a shared consensus reality. You and I are talking about this earlier today. That makes debate, discussion, everything impossible, because we're not on the same planet. We're not in the same universe anymore. It's like there's multiple realities, certainly two major ones in the United States, and the right and the left, which I don't even think anybody knows what the hell that means anymore. But it certainly means two different realities. In one reality, for example, QAnon exists and is a reliable source of information. I mean, and I can't even say that with a straight face. I know, right? but not to tip my hand, but and then even the left's not completely honest about the way it's framing things either. There's numerous examples across the board, but when everything's about attention, including social media, which is really kind of this Web 2 model that originated with social media, is attention. That's it. Well, that creates echo chambers. We know the effects of all of this. The question is, how long are we going to let it go on? How much more damage? Because it's not going to get any better without this type of change.
Well, I mean, I think that this is an important part of the discussion. What a lot of people, when they talk about the news and they talk about, the most recent years that we've gone through with people, you get into discussions with people, and everybody seems to have a different set of facts, and they have been forced to sort of self-curate the information because there's so many different wells to go to with information, and so many of them are giving information that seems to be wrong or not based in any real fact. Right, Linton?
Or they have one set of facts that tell one narrative, but they don't want to hear another set of facts that tell a different narrative. And we need, if you look at a courtroom, you've got the prosecution, you got the defense, and then there's the jury. And at least in a courtroom, the prosecution and defense, they have to agree on the facts. Now they can spin the narrative however they wish, and the jury has to listen to both sides and then comes to the truth. But at least they're working off the same set of facts. And so what we're trying to do at Ovis is at least get everybody working off of the same set of facts. There will always be different narratives. One of the things I like to say is if a train crashes and 100 people are on board and one person dies and 99 people survive, there are at least two factually accurate stories that can be written about that train crash. One is miracle, 99 people survived. The other one is tragedy, one person dies. Both factually accurate, but two different narratives. So what is the truth behind that? What we're trying to do at Ovis is present all sides of the story, allow different narratives, but they all have to be factually based. And as you watch later podcasts, you'll understand how we do that. And we want to invite people to go to ovisnews.com and sign up on our social media channels so you can be part of that. What we're trying to do is create a community of people who believe that something's got to change. Join us, because it's going to take all of us to do this. This is not a top-down effort. This is a bottoms-up. It's about the community coming together and building something very special and something completely radically better than the current model that we have.
Okay. Well, I mean, it does seem interesting. Basically, people have been talking for many years about how we can fix this problem. There has been this clarion call against fake news, and basically it feels like no one is doing anything to change it. And Ovis has a solution.
Well, I'll let the reason why. Maybe Dominic, you should talk about why you joined Ovis, because I think you're part of this movement that we're trying to create.
Mm-hmm, for sure. I'll quickly say it seems the only thing that's been done so far is this movement towards censorship, and that's absolutely the worst course. I'd rather it be a bunch of screaming Alex Joneses than news platforms deciding what we need to hear and what we shouldn't hear. Right? I think we all know that's sort of a worst case scenario. But really why I joined, this project and the team is that, I've been working in the Web3 space for a long time. And really the start of that with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies was about freedom and money. Again, changing incentive structures, making them transparent. Hey, we know exactly how many of these things are going to exist. We know exactly how many get created every day, and so on and so forth. And it was a sort of an effort of the democratization of money, which is of course extremely important. And there's a lot of issues there. But the big factor that allows that is this triple ledger, right? The immutable element. And, when I first heard about you guys, that was an obvious fit straight away. That a blockchain with signatures on the back end, making sure that whatever version of a story gets published is going to be the original version, and you'll be able to go back and check that, because stuff happens too after news is published, and you guys know better than I do, but there are edits, there are stories that get altered, there are stories that get reprinted by other people and altered and used as a sort of a fake news and propaganda. So, but for me personally, what it came down to is I can't just sit here and throw my hands up and hand this world to my children, because to me it's ridiculous. We have to do something about this. It's a foundational issue, and I just think I was fortunate to have some experience that I think can help the project and to run across you guys. So That's why I'm doing it. It just has to be changed.
Well, we're really glad that you're on board and joining the Ovis movement and being part of the solution. And Tracy, your question about who's going to fix us? We have to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
We have to come together to fix it. It's not going to fix itself. It's just going to get worse. And so what I hope is if you want to be part of the solution, join the Ovis movement, join the people. Let's get our power back. Let's take back our power from these 6 major corporations. Join this movement. Go to ovisnews.com and be part of the solution. So that would be my answer to the question.
All right. Well, thank you both for joining us. We're going to be returning on a regular basis to tell all of you more about Ovis. Thank you, Linton. Thank you, Dominic. And Linton, where can someone go to learn more about Ovis?
Ovisnews.com. Sign up and join our social media channels and be part of our community.
Okay. All right. So everyone out there, sign up to be part of the Ovis community on ovisnews.com.